everyone, it's leslierahye with Crafty Gig, and I welcome you to my cleaned off, refreshed workspace. Um, I have been going back and forth, back and forth. I was all ready to stream the other night, and the chat wouldn't work, and so I thought, well, what a bummer, because it's no fun if you can't chat with each other, right? So I am going to be playing with some Cheery Lynn dies. They have lots of really pretty dies. Cheery Lynn, like they have different colors for their dies. These are all just happen to be purple, but this is one of their die plates. These two are another one, and this is the sunflower on this card I showed you a while ago before I turned the thing on. All of these flowers here and here. This is on my blog if you want to look at it closer. If somebody wants to put my blog in the chat, that would be great. These were on my blog. These are all from these two dies. These two dies right here. This is the sunflower die. It's got a center and one of these, and so you just cut two of those. Very simple to work. And then this is called one of their embellishment dies. And the reason I bought this was because of these little goobers right here. I've been looking for a punch that does these, because a lot of people, if you're into making handmade flowers, they are just super cool, and everybody's using them, and there's a punch for it. But these three were on this die, and I thought, well, that's really cool. But then they also had these. You see how these little itsy bitsy ones here? And then they have a stick here and another stick here, and these interesting little shapes that can be the bottoms of flowers, and then also these and these little suns. So this is a really cool die, and that's what I use to make these little flowers here, these little sticks with flowers here, these little funny spidery looking things under here. So I mean, that die alone, there's endless possibilities. And the Cheery Lynn site has tons of videos and how-tos and how to make different flowers and stuff. So very, very cool. Love this. Someone asked a question, is that a new house mouse image? I don't know. Let's see. It is, let's see. It says copyright 2012. It's called The Thinker. There he is. The Thinker. HMOR 1146. Ah, thanks, Amanda. Yeah, I didn't link up to this one, but I did label it. So, but there are links to some of the other stuff, like the dies, in there on that card. So they have those, and then this one they call a daisy strip. They have several strip kinds of things, and this flower can make daisies, but it can make all kinds of other stuff too. And then these two are called Sweet Williams, and they come two in the package like that. Aren't those fun? So, and then the other thing, you know my love of snowflakes. Well, of course I had to have them. Look at the snowflakes. We're not playing with the snowflakes, but those would make cool little flower centers and stuff too. But snowflakes. Okay. So anyway, I have fallen in love with these. My mom also has fallen in love with these. She got a bunch of the doilies, and she got some flowers. And then she also, what else did she get? She got, a French flower. That's what I want to play with. She's let me borrow that. So anyway, I don't have it tonight, but Cheery Lynn Dies. Very, very cool. So we're going to cut some of those. Definitely. And then another one I got, which I haven't been brave enough to make yet, is this die set right here. You see those three? This is part of the new Sizzix dies. And this one you have to build your flower from scratch. That one is supposed to make this flower here. Isn't that cool? But you take all these petals that you cut, and you have to glue them together. Let's see. See, there's instructions that are way many steps. I haven't made this one yet. I don't know that I want to attempt to make it tonight because I think we'll be here for 5 years while I try to make the first one. So I'm not making this one tonight, but I had to have it. It's sitting on the plate. I might actually cut this one that is kind of strange, the little centers, because I don't have a fringe die, but that might make a neat center for something. But anyway, so there's that one. That one's kind of strange. And then I have an old standby, which I love, love, love. And this is a Donna Salazar die that is a Spellbinder die. And it's the little roses. And I have a tendency to cut 2 or 3 of these at a time and then pop them out. But you don't have to. You can cut just 1 at a time if you want to. And I always, if you're using a Sizzix, I always look at what it says you should cut and take that as a suggestion. And I do a whole lot of die cutting. And very seldom do I actually get my machine stuck like I did just a while ago. Very seldom. I usually, you know, like I say, use that as a suggestion and then go along and do what I do. But yeah, earlier totally got my machine stuck. Kind of was freaking out there for a minute, but it's better now. Anybody else ever get their electric machine stuck? Oy. And thankfully, Sizzix has like a built-in idiot-proof kind of thing for when I do get it stuck, so that it doesn't overheat it. It just turns the engine off, or the little motor off on it. And so you have to wait for a second or push the reset button for it to try to push it forward again. And so that's where I was waiting to push my die on through. Crazy, huh? So, favorite thing to cut out flowers on is just plain white cardstock. And the reason I like plain white cardstock is you can make it anything after that. Once you have a base, you can stamp on it, you can ink it, you can spray it, you can paint it, anything. And it can become whatever you want it to be. So these, I cut out a couple of big ones. This little one here is the littlest one. It makes itty bitty bitty one. And then I cut out a couple of medium. And these become like little roses, little camellias, depending on how you do them. So I love these. I love my new Cheery Lynn Dies. So let's cut out some more Cheery Lynn Dies so that we have some fun stuff to play with. Now, I also have some of the big dies that are flowers, that are Sizzix, that I've had forever. But I don't want to play with those tonight. I want to play with these because these are so much fun. Now, you will notice that my Sizzix pad is well loved and well cut, and it still works just fine. I'm going to do one at a time because I think that's part of where I got in trouble earlier. And you just make your sandwich, run it through, and on the other side, it makes this beautiful die cut, like this. And what's cool is Cheery Lynn has little holes in the back here that your little poker, and I'm using the poker for from Sizzix. It's not my pointy pokey tool, it's just a poker. And it has, this comes off and puts a lid on it. It's great for using with your dies. So that's what I'm using there. And I'm going to cut out, like I said, some more. So when you're doing these, if you've never used the wafer thin dies or made a Sizzix sandwich, it's so easy. You just stick this in here and run it through. And You can see I've cut hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands on that one, and it's never cracked. In the 7 or 8 years, however long it's been that I've been die cutting, in that time, I've only seen one of these plates that has cracked. One in all these years. And I have friends, and it wasn't even my plate. It was a friend's plate that she was cutting something, and I think it was just some bad plates. Anyway, Sizzix replaced it completely. It was amazing. They are such a good company to do stuff with. Okay, so I have one of those cut. I want to cut another set. I want to cut 2. Does anybody have any questions? This die is the sunflower die, because you know me and my sunflowers, right? I saw one of these. I'm going to show you how to do the one I did, and then I saw another one that was done the opposite direction where the little petals go up. It was very, very cute. There we go. You know, a little center. If you don't want to come out, that's fine. The rest of us would like for you to. It's like my chat just stopped. Okay, nope. There was a question that says, I have the old Sizzix. Can I use my dies with that? Absolutely you can. There is no reason that you can't do the old Sizzix that does this, or even the little one that does the sizzlets. All you have to do is get enough shims and pads to do it, okay? And if you can't find them, usually I've seen the pads in different stores. But if you look around at like Hobby Lobby and Michael's, they usually have pads that you can buy, or the Sizzix site. I know Mom sometimes has been able to get them. So you just want to get the right sandwich, and unless it's recently changed, and I mean like in the last year, the Sizzix site even used to have how you would need to sandwich your collection so that you know whatever machine you had. And I know I've seen it on places like Split Coast Stampers. They've had, you know, how you sandwich your pieces and your layers so that you can do it. Yeah, I had forever. I started off with the red one. That was what my mother-in-law gave me. She kind of hemmed and hawed about it for a long time because she didn't think I would use it. And I said, no, really, I want to use it. I want it, I want it, I want it. And so she got it for me for my birthday one year. And she bought me a couple of dies. I started with the Splat. I don't know if everybody remembers the Splat. And I started with some balloons, I believe. But the little Splat was probably one of my first dies. And so I got that. And then I started collecting dies. And that's when all of your dies were the steel rule dies. And so I collected dies and collected dies and collected dies and kept collecting dies. And I was at convention one year, and my mom had warned me that they had a new machine that was a hand crank machine. And so, and it was the Big Shot. So I got the Big Shot. And before I got the big shot, I actually had the little Sizzix too, the little bitty one that you stick down to your table. I forget what it was called. Sidekick, maybe. I had that too. So I had the Sidekick and the red one. And the Sidekick was also red. No, I don't want to. And so I had those two. And then we went to see the convention. And I saw them using the Big Shot. And the Big Shot is basically just like the machine I have now, only it was hand crank. And those of you who are new and don't know me very well, I have 2 children. One is 13, one is 7 now. But they love to scrapbook and craft with me. And then I do all kinds of projects with them. And then when we do stuff for school, I start doing a bunch of stuff in math. And so I would crank quite a bit. Well, we were getting ready to do Christmas cards with our Cub Scouts. And our Cub Scouts take Christmas cards to the nursing homes. Well, this one year, we decided to make this really cool snowflake. Thank you, sir. And the snowflake, I'll show you the die here just a second. Let me run this one through. Because the snowflake die is not a snowflake at all. We had to cut 2 of this die right here and 2 of this die. And look how, okay, this die is a Spellbinder's die. So is this die, okay? Look at the colors. This is because of how many times we ran this through. So 80, and we ended up making 100 because you never know if people are coming and going, and sometimes I like to give them to the staff and stuff. So we made 100. So this was ran through my machine 200 times. This one was ran through my machine 200 times. And look at all the nice little pokey plots. We had confetti all over the living room floor for months after that, it seemed like. And then we had 100 big circles that these went on. Oh, my Lanta, as my son would say. So we're in the middle of doing that with the hand crank machine. I cranked until I couldn't crank anymore. My husband cranked until he couldn't crank anymore. We took turns cutting. We took turns poking out stuff. I mean, it was intense. And we finally got done. But before we did, my machine, one day, we're cutting along, and it goes rat-a-tat-tat. Shouldn't say rat-a-tat-tat. I'm just telling you. Should never say rat-a-tat-tat. So, we're cutting along. It goes rat-a-tat-tat. And I was like, oh no. And the little cog that helps operate, it's going around, it broke. So I called Sizzix because I'm thinking I need a part. I can repair it. So I call them. I say the cog broke in my wheel. I have a Sidekick, or a Sizzix Big Shot. And they said, okay, we'll send you out a part. And I said, how much? And she said, nothing. We're just going to send you out the part. So in the meantime, I borrow my mom's Big Shot and keep cutting. And my husband keeps cutting. And I get home, and there's this box. And it's not a little box like, your ye old cog would come in. It's a huge box. Huge box. And so I open the box, It's a big machine. It's this machine. And so I look at my husband and I said, did you buy me a new machine? And he said, no. Did you buy yourself a new machine? I said, no. So my next call was to my mother. Did you buy me a new machine? Look how those cut. Isn't that pretty? See the veins in there? And she's like, no. And yeah, we go back through that again. Did you buy a machine? No. Did you buy a machine? Well, nobody'd fess up. So I called to Sizzix and I said, I got a question. Don't mind me asking. I called in about my machine. She said, oh yeah, we sent something out for you. Did you get it? And I said, yes, ma'am. She said, well, do you like it? And I said, well, I really don't know because I did, I've always had a crank machine. I've never had an electric machine. And she says, well, do you want the crank machine back or do you want something else? And I said, I'll try this machine. Never tried it. I'll try it. Okay. Look, I push a button. It goes through. I'm telling you, best broken cog I ever had. So I love my Big Shot. It doesn't have as much horsepower as the new Tim Holtz does. But it's really okay. I love it. I think it serves its purpose. Now, when this one dies, I'm totally saving my coins and getting the Pro. But until then, I do have access to one if I need it. But yeah, I'm gonna just bypass the Tim Holtz and go with the Pro. Unless it's a part issue and they just want to send me a Tim Holtz, and then I'll just take it. So I'm going to do my best to keep these all stuck in here instead of chasing all the little circles around. But I may not be that lucky. Because I want to pop these out. There we go. Pop these out up here. And these, that's why these little circles on these are perfect. Because these pop out so easy with these. Okay. We'll do one more of these. And look, you get these mystery dots. I don't know what you would use that for, but there's a dot. That's kind of fun too. You never know when you just need a random dot in your stuff. I love this branch. I don't know why I love that branch. I just do. And like I said, this is just plain white cardstock. If you were going to do a lot of coloring, like with some Copics or some Spectrum Noir or something like that, Pro markers, and you wanted the blendability, how nicely that does with certain papers, like the Nina papers, I would definitely die cut that instead of just plain white cardstock. But plain white cardstock works best for most applications. So. Normally I would definitely cut the rest of that paper, but because I'm trying to save little punch outs. So these are pretty cool. Y'all like these dies? Is my chat stuck? Feel free to chat, guys. Unless you're working on the side, then feel free to work on the side. Yeah, Cheryl, I think you do fine. Now, bigger ones like this are going to be like you would do your big die, because let's see. Here's a regular size die, okay, in comparison. So this is a regular shaped die. This is what would fit in your red Sizzix, okay. So you would cut and then slide and cut, don't you think? So as long as it fit this, you would be just fine. You just have to figure out how much sandwich you need to do to make it fit through that red spot, just like you would any other stuff. So I would definitely try it. There's no reason for it not to. But of course, I'm the one that had my stuff stuck like just a few minutes ago. Y'all did not just see me do that. Okay, so there's some flowers to play with. Now, one thing I looked for at convention, didn't find. I don't know if it didn't find me or I didn't find it, but it was Flower Soft. And I still want Flower Soft because I see everybody using it. Well, I saw something yesterday. Hi, Aunt Joy. And I totally want to try this. I want to try this with you guys. So, let's see. Let me go over here. Can y'all see what I have? It's a styrofoam bowl. So I think I want my Flower Soft to be this color. Haha. So what they did was what I tell my children not to do when they are playing with styrofoam balls is they oh, how cool is this going to be? Okay, guys. I could use my little whatchamacallit, saw blade if I wanted to, but I'm just using the side of a little metal ruler. Yeah, I know, Michael, that one little die, so many flower options. And if you go onto their site, there's all kinds of stuff. Okay, those of you who are familiar with the product Flower Soft. Okay. Some of these are a little bigger than others. That's okay. I have a fan. It's blowing my homemade Flower Soft around. But, here we go. You could use your alcohol inks if you wanted to get those down. But why not? Or here, let's do it the different way. It's coloring that. I don't know if you can see it or not, but hang on. I'm just going to color on this and then scrape that off. Okay, here we go. Ta-da! You know, you could get one of those little cheese graters. Okay, if this is not the coolest thing I have seen all week, I'm very happy with my fake Flower Soft. Check it out, guys. Y'all see it? I think that deserves that. Bam! Leslie is a bug killer. Yeah, I killed it. I don't know where it came from. It came in with my son from mowing, I guess. So. That is too cool. I'm very excited about that. So we got a little bit of fake flour soft built up here. Yay, team. Yes, a micro grater. Thank you. Amanda is my keeper of words today because apparently I've left my words at the office. Flour soft. Yay. Yay. Okay, so I'm excited about that. Don't let me forget we have that. Let's play with the little stems so that it will be easier for us to see. I have a little scrap piece of cardstock here. No, I'm not going to do that. We're going to do this. Okay, what I did to start working on my flowers is this is just a thick piece of foam. I believe they have fun foam that's this thick. This was just something that came in a kit that I got that they wanted it to use as some kind of a little backing. I didn't want to use it for a backing, but it works really good for my flowers. And I'm using my McGill. This came with a set of 3 little embossing tools. It's got a little bitty skinny end, and it's got kind of a bigger end. Okay, I'm going to use this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch out some of these little flowers that I've asked to stay where they are. And here we go. Okay. And I'll grab some more of them. Okay. And we're going to use some of these sticks. So I'm going to grab a stick or 2 here. Now, this cut's really easy. It came off really easy. I was just, where it was, I was just trying to manipulate it to get it out. I'm going to grab this stick right here. And if I want, I'll go ahead and pop these couple extra flowers out. So I've probably got more little flowers than I actually need, and that's okay. But here's my stick. See how nicely that cuts out? Beautiful little shape. It does look the same. The Flower Soft looks really, really cool. Amanda, put your clap in parentheses. Your clap will work. Okay. Amanda's trying to clap with my bam when I made fake Flower Soft. Okay, so here we go. Now, believe it or not, some people look at this and they're going to think I'm crazy because they didn't want to spend so much time working on things. But this, to me, is not just highly addictive, but it's very relaxing. And so when I've had a very stressful week, like I just had, and it wasn't stressful, well, some of it was stressful bad, but it wasn't because I don't like my job. I love my job. It was just simply because what I was having to deal with was stressful. So when I've had that kind of week, I like to have stuff like this to do. And like whatever we don't finish here, I will go sit with my shuffle desk in front of the TV and do this. Okay, I'm trying to zoom this in on my little black square so y'all can see me playing here. All right, can everybody see okay? Now, these little flowers, they're itsy bitsy. See how itsy bitsy? This is the head that I'm going to, let's see. This is the head of my thing I'm going to use because this one is just way too big. Okay, this is the one I'm going to use. For point of reference, this is a regular clicky pen, 7mm. Okay, that's how big or little these are. Okay, so now what I like to do is just take them and kind of roll around in there like that. Now, if you get really mad and you want to just punch them down, you can, but it gives it just a little bit of a curve that it didn't have before. See that? It's hard to see with, you can see it upside down. Let's try it that way. Looks like a white blob on the screen. Sorry, guys. Here's a plain one next to it. Here's a curved one. There, curved. Anybody see that? I don't know. Anyway, trust me. Let's see if I can get it from the side. It's curved. Ah, heck. Anyway, it's curved. So I'm just curving around a little circle shape. And however many I decide I want to do on my little tree. And usually what I was doing before is do the tips, although I might leave one tip blank, and then also some of the points where the two branches converge. So there we go. But this little piece of foam does really good. It's not going to last forever. It'll wear. It's not like a super, it was free in a package. I'm not complaining. But if you go looking for a piece of foam and your foam breaks down by you using it, well, it's not that expensive a little tool that you use. Okay. I try to use what I have around me instead of always feeling the need to go buy another tool. If I have something else that will work and do the job, gadgets are cool, but this gadget, the McGill tool, I needed. I only had the one, and this one had like several different shapes, or not shapes, but sizes. And you got 6 of them, and the price was not too bad. So I got this a couple of years ago. But I didn't go buy a mat to go with it because I have several things that could be used as mats. And so far, I'm not regretting that decision. So, some people I know have to have the latest and greatest of everything. You don't have to have the latest and greatest of everything. Use what you, or get what makes you happy, what you think you would use. Okay, so I've curled several of those. Now you can kind of see them curled. Okay, I've curled several of them. Several of them are still straight, but I've curled quite a few. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a brown marker. And if I didn't cut these out on white, I would use craft as well because I like craft. But I'm just using a plain old brown marker, and I'm going to color it very simply, very quickly. Now, if this was going to be where I knew it would be 3-dimensional, I would probably go ahead and color the back too. But I'm not. I'm just going to color the front. And then the next thing I'm going to do is just get out some simple white glue to use to glue my flowers on. And lately what I've been using is either, or I can use white glue, or I can use like a little thing of Sakura that I have in this. And actually that might be simple in this case. So get my little, the one that has lid on it. This one's going to actually run faster. And all I've done is taken some Sakura crystal lacquer, the 3D crystal lacquer, and poured into one of these tubes. Mom has these tubes in the store. And it makes it real simple to pinpoint exactly where you want to put your crystal lacquer. And these are also fun if you want to color. If you have the colored ones, these are fun to color centers with for your flowers as well. I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm going to show you how I did it, which is with a marker. Now, to make these super easy to pick up, I'm going to stick that in there just a little bit and kind of tap it off. And then now when I go pick it up, and I kind of make sure when I do this that I move my flower and make sure I haven't stuck my whole thing down. See me move it just to make sure it's not stuck completely down. Okay, this one has too much stickum on it. Let's try that again. There we go. And just move it and check it. Make sure it's like you want it. And then I'll pick this up and see. Aren't those precious? Very, very precious. I love how itty bitty they are. And I love how they look on the tree. I love how three-dimensional they are with just a little bit of curling. Isn't that neat? Now, here's my thought. You could put itsy bitsy bit of Flower Soft in the middle. You could put clear lacquer in the middle. You could touch the edges with a little bit of chalk or a little bit of light pink and put brown bead in the middle, make it almost look, or a yellow bead in the middle, or yellow Flower Soft. You could make these look like all kinds of little flowers. They could be dogwood petals, they could be baby's breath, they could be all kinds of stuff. Because it could be little bitty, like if you were doing a little scene and this was in the far off, it could be a little bitty dogwood bush, it could be little bitty apple trees, all kinds of cool stuff. It could be just a little sticky weed that pops up in your yard and looks cute, and then it turns into little sticky weeds. It could be that too. You never know. So I'm going to finish this branch real quick. And I'll show you how little this glue does at pinpointing this before I stick my flowers on this time. I'm sorry I didn't think to do that while ago. Here you go. Ready? Little bitty glue. There it is. There you go. See? That applicator makes itsy bitsy dots of glue for you to use. Makes it perfect for our project. Now, if you didn't want to stick a little bit of stickum on the end of your of this, by all means, use tweezers. Tweezers work well. I'm just not in the mood for tweezers, and this works well too. Again, only get the tools you really need. This set came with tweezers, but still. I think I just stuck a flat flower on here accidentally. How funny. There we go. And one more flower. take this one to go right there. So here's our little flowers. Whole pile of them. Aren't they cute? And I'm going to treat these like I did the ones I did on my card. I'm just going to stick a little yellow dot. And for my yellow dot, I'm going to use this color because I like this color. And not the big end, excuse me. I'm going to save our fake stuff for a different project, a different flower. But I'm just sticking this in the middle. And you can make your dots as big as you want them to be. I want just a little dot. And then the next thing I did after I dotted everybody is I misted this. And I misted it with a white mist. Or not white, but iridescent pearl. My favorite, Maya. So we'll put this white down here real quick. And as with any mister, commit to the mist. You ready? And this just gives a little, you can maybe see it there, but let me take this off. Here. It just gives you a little bit of sparkle on the branches, and when this finishes drying, the little white flowers will sparkle too. See it? Yay! So that was how super easy and simple that one was. Put him right here, let him finish drying. Off to the side. Now, I'm going to move these guys, but not real far, because they may become centers for some of my other flowers. But there's that. Now, the little yellow flowers here, let me pop out some more of those. Does anybody have any questions? Chat's just really quiet. And if you have any of these skinny dies and are not storing them a certain way, I got this. My kids got me this for Christmas. And these are magnetic sheets. So when they're turned up sideways, they don't fall off. Best gift ever. I highly recommend getting you some if you don't have some. Okay. I want the little flowers. There we go. Alright. So these can be used for a lot of different things. If you wanted to make lilies with them, you could. If you want to use them for the bases of your roses and things. And we might use some of these with some of our roses we're going to make with this Spellbinder's dies, because these will make great, I guess, what are they called, calyxes maybe? So I'm getting these big boys out of my way. And let me just say, in case you missed why I had to have this die, this right here, this makes me happy. This is my favorite thing on the whole die. Now keep in mind, I was the person who my first purchase for my Sizzix was a splat, so that should explain a lot, right? Okay, so here's these. And so we got those two to play with also. So here we go. Gotta do some Sweet Williams for my Sweet Williams. And then there we go. Nice. Now, the easiest way to work with something like these, and I'm sorry I'm putting this on white, but I've already started misting on this. So here's these, and that would be to take a yellow mister, or another color. Let's see. Let's make red ones. Instead of yellow ones, let's make red. And I'm taking a Tattered Angels mister. What is this? Probably picked one that they don't have that color anymore. This is Lobster. I don't know if they have that color anymore. Anyway, again, this is what I have on my my printer. I've missed it so many times. Okay, make sure that's clean. Okay. Haha. I got a little carried away with the mist. Sorry. And the reason I did that first was because I wanted these to be already colored before I started doing stuff with them. Isn't that fun? The little negative shapes. Okay. And those didn't get misted for whatever reason. I'm not sure. But here we go. I'm going to let these kind of sit and dry for a minute. I don't know if you've looked closely at the anatomy of this one. Let me grab one here. See if I can bring it up to you here. Notice how it has little cuts into the flower. You can hit those just so with the tool, and it kind of makes them turn in a little. So if you hit it where it goes right there along that edge, it makes it turn in just a smidge. It's hard to see me doing that on my finger, but here, let's do this. I'm getting the glue off that first before I attempt that. Okay, so what I'm saying is if, like when you do your rubbing, if you rub it just on one side, and then you can, of course, do that to kind of help it along. But see how it kind of folds up? So, come here. And the petals overlap themselves. Isn't that cool? And then if you wanted to, you could stick a little white one, colored a different color, in the center. Come on. Sorry, I was trying to focus it. Too close. There we go. Can you see the contrast with the little white one in the center, sort of? So you can use all kinds of different ones for centers. You don't have to have it a certain way, but the other thing that's cool about this is it has that hole. So you could stick brads in it. So if you have a bajillion brads, there's already pre-holes in so many of these, or wires, or whatever you want to put in there. Okay, so here's our misted ones, right? Nice pretty red. And so I'm going to follow that line with them, and you'll see that it just kind of shines even more since they're misted in that one spot, and kind of makes it a neat little A neat little curl there. And what I liked about these dies is I sat and I watched the ladies online using them, and sat and watched the demo lady use them. And it was so simple to make an easy little flower petal. Isn't that neat? So, and I love making my own flowers. Like I said, yeah, this is, to me, this is relaxing. Some people sit down, do nothing to relax. I have to be busy. I can't just sit still. I'm usually coloring or crocheting or doodling or making flowers. So, but if I have these all in white, even if I didn't color them, I could come back later and mist them. See, isn't that cute? I just love that little flower. That's just a perky little flower. It would be a good center for a bigger flower as well. So, pre-mist. Our, if we used a darker color red, we could almost make that look poppy-like. You can't see that I'm putting these over here to the side, but I am, because I have it all zoomed in on this. But I'm very, very happy with my choice to get these few dies to start my collection of flowers. What's so neat is there's so many options there, and they just keep growing. Like with this latest release that they put out, they have poinsettias. So if you weren't already using another one for a poinsettia, now you can just do a die cut of a poinsettia. And like I think it was today, the card that is on their actual blog today used the poinsettia, but then she used like a fringe from another flower for the center of the poinsettia. It's very cool. I love how they work together, and you can do all kinds of stuff. So, okay, so in case you're wondering, the package of styrofoam balls that I got to do my fake flower soft is from the dollar store, and I got 12 of them. Now, how many bottles of flower soft can you buy for $1? Just saying. Okay. Hi, Mommy. What are you doing there? I know Mommy has a bazillion brads to use. Because Mommy and I both have brads. Oh, look. This is funny. See my red overspray? Okay. It's because I'm the overspray queen. That's what color my printer is, by the way, in case y'all missed that. Okay, so those are going to be my little red flowers. And I want to do one with a yellow center just so you can see it. So I'm going to color that like that. And I'll pull him aside and do this to him. And grab my little glue. And grab my little glue. You ready? There we go. Yeah. How cool is that? Ready? Be prepared. Isn't that cute? How cool is that? So that was just that little flower, the itty bitty 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 flower inside the small flower on that one. And you could, if you wanted to stick him on a tree, you could. This could be a branch with some of those. Very fun. I love that little flower. watcher, please. Okay, so now I want to do this one. Sweet Williams. We plant Sweet Williams every year because, well, I have Williams, but look at the detail on this. Without even pulling the flower out, there's this. Now, I don't know if you are familiar with the Sweet William flower. It's in the Dianthus family. And no, this is not the gardening show. But it is in the Dianthus family, which is the same as the carnation. So you notice it has that cute little ruffle on the edge. Now, usually the flower is colored in the center with white on the edge, or a variation of dark and light, and some usually light on the edge. But if you go look up Dianthus or Sweet William, sometimes you will see dark on the edge. And then it has a flower in the middle, and the little middle flower could even be not a flower in the middle, but a middle side. It could be like that. If you wanted to be fun, it could be like that, which I think is what I'm going to use. So I'm going to get a couple more markers, and I want to do like some pinky red ones or something like that, because I think that would be a lot of fun. So, and this is why I like having markers, is because, and white is because you can, you know, make it whatever you want. You don't have to have a bajillion pieces of paper, you know. So I want that marker. I'm going to use a couple of pinks here. And then I'm going to do one that's red and white. So I'm going to get out like a crimson color here. And they stack. You put one and then you stack another one like so. Or you could do just one color, okay? And let me find... To make it easier to see while I'm coloring, I'm going to put it on this paper sack for y'all. So, if y'all are new and haven't met my mom, Paula, our mommy PSH is my mommy. And yes, we do call her mommy. So feel free to call her mommy. Ice and it kind of got in here and it melted. Oh, thank you. It's a little brown. Thank you. You're welcome. Ah. Okay. In case you wondered if I love my markers, the answer is yes, I love my markers. Now, I would very easily entertain the idea of doing these with big markets as well. But use what you have. I went a long time before I found a marker that I wanted, and I'm glad I waited. I'm glad I shopped around and looked at it. You've heard me talk about why I like these markers as opposed to other brands. One is that there was a small amount. I mean, by small, I don't mean like you only get 24, but it was an achievable amount of markers to get, so that you could have a full set. And so that's one reason I really like them. Another reason I really like them was that you you could refill them, which is always a bonus. And then another reason I really like them was because you could change out the pen nibs if you needed to. And then finally, a reason that I like them was that they have an online certification course. And so you can learn your coloring techniques. You could do the project and send it in, and you can get certified online without having to attend a class. It's free, which free is always my price that I love. And then it was just a real neat kind of thing. I really love that. So it had lots of perks for them. At this moment, I'm 25 markers, or 24 markers, away from a full set. I'm very excited about that. And I've started buying the refills. And the refills are so cool. And there's so many things you can do with the refills, because remember when I first started Crafty Gig, I spent some time going over all the fun stuff you could do with alcohol markers and alcohol inks. Well, guess what, folks? These are alcohol inks. Yay. Alcohol inks. Alcohol inks. So, hi, Dawn. So, you know, when you're looking at something, you know, I forget how many alcohol inks Ranger has now. I think it's like 36, maybe. Well, I just opened my range to, 150 inks, basically, of colors. So, lots of fun. Lots and lots of fun. And Mommy is doing Copics, and she is loving those. But she won't be finished with getting all of her markers as soon as I will, because Copics have like a gajillion more to get than I have. So, okay, I'm coloring first on these, and I'm just kind of adding a little. I'm not going over every single edge. I think these would be very cool with like some paint or some watercolor. I think that would look very striking on these as well. Okay, so there's the white ones. I think I'm going to go around the edge of these with the darker pink just to kind of lift that color, especially on the top one. Oops, wrong side. But, you know, if you didn't want to color these and you want to start with a color and then go from there, you could certainly do that. Okay, there. See? That makes that pop just a little bit going on that edge, so I think I'm going to do that on the bottom one too. Always play with your toys. And then look and see if you can create other things with them. Yeah, not just what is expected, but the other possibilities that come with those. So, okay. So these are going to be fun. So let's get our... Okay, I have one of these. These I'm keeping white in the center because, except for maybe just a little bit of yellow where pollen would be. On the very, very inside. I can't put a little dot of yellow right here on the inside. Okay. So these are extras. You see I've got just a smidge of yellow there. I've got my colors. Okay. So here we go. embrace your inner Sweet William and kind of follow. This has a more sharper kind of bend to it. So kind of follow your lines on that kind of embossed in your die to do your shaping of this flower. And then center of a flower, I always like to do that to center of a flower because it just makes me happy. I mean, you can make it go flatter again, but anyway. So this has some incising on it, so kind of follow that, especially on the top one. The bottom, I don't spend as much on shaping as I do on the top. And in fact, on this one, I may come back and shape a little bit around the edges of his petals here. Just simply because this is what your viewer sees first, is this top petal. Yeah, the bottom petal gets some attention, but the top petal is what is actually seen. And so I may want to kind of run this around the edges. There. And then a little in the center, just a little bit. And when these get together, they start looking more Sweet William-like. Get my little glue here and stick this one. Now see, these would be cool if you wanted to make them more three-dimensional. See, these I'll put on cards so that they're flat is fine with me. Or that they're not colored on the back side of the petal is okay with me. But if you wanted to stick these on the card, you could line these up, get your wire to go up through there, and then stick your cover on. And make quite the interesting little three-dimensional flower. You can also, and we didn't do this for this one, but you could also color in a base and have that coming out underneath it. Let's do that for this one. Let's have a base too. We need some green. So okay. Some leaf green. Y'all are quiet tonight, guys. Or y'all just stuck in Flowerland? Flowerland. I know Mom's looking for bacon, so we know where she is. She's thinking about. Okay, now this is going to be our base of our flower. And I turned it on the back side so that it, I'll show you in a minute why I did that first. I'm doing the back side first. And there we go. And what's neat is if you're doing these with markers and you're doing your forming while they're a little bit wet, they're a little bit more pliable. Okay, so here's our leaf, and watch this. We're going to come in here and we're going to go like this, right in the middle. That's the official. And so now we have a base for our flower. Our flower will sit right here, and you'll see its baseness. So like I said, if this was a real two-dimensional flower, I would go ahead and paint the back side, right? And then here is our center. And I want to just kind of twirl these little dots a little bit to give them a little shape. and then turn this over and do my in the center of it so that you can kind of see how those have a little bit of shape to them before I put the center in. Okay, so now we have, that's already stuck to its base because I had a little bit extra glue there. And I've already stuck something there to cover that. And you ready? You ready? Oh, isn't that cool? I love this. So there's that one. And then again with the red. Dawn, since you're just joining us, I'm showing them some of my fun new Cheery Lynn dies that I got, and some different ways, and you know why my brain thinks the way it does as far as, you know, how I color them or miss them or whatever. Everything I die cut on white and then color, and so that's where we are. I put together some little stems and some smaller flowers, and now I'm showing them some of the bigger flowers. There we go. Okay, I was looking at my time, guys. It's about 9:30 here my time. I'm not sure how slow we are on the stream going back. I know, I love this die. I do. And so I'm going to ask you a question, because I think I'm going to do a bonus stream next Friday. I'm going to be Sans Kids. They're going to be at their Grammy and Papa's. And I missed doing all my streaming that I wanted to do last week. So I think next Friday I'm going to do a bonus stream. And if you want, I can either go ahead and do my other Cheery Lynn die, the sunflower die tonight, and the daisy die, or I can do some of the other ones, or I can do one more Cheery Lynn die, or I can do one of the other Spellbinders dies, one of the Donna Salazar dies. So you have me running in the background. You know I don't like to run, Dawn. I know, this is such a cool die, Michael. So cool. Love this die. And they have several dies like this that are, they have, I guess, 3 embellishment dies total from their flower making stuff. They have tons of flowers. They have strip ones that make all kinds of little fringed things. They have the dies that do all sorts of flowers, chrysanthemums that have more petals than the daisies. They have, I mean, just tons and tons, and like 4 different versions of fringe that you can put on there. And then they have a die that's just for doing quilling. I mean, it's just a neat company. And when I borrow Mom's doily dies that she bought at convention, the detail is phenomenal. I like how involved in cutting they are. It's just really cool. So here is my second little Sweet William. I should have done some purple ones like the ones that Sam had, right? So there's that one. I didn't color another set of stamens for this one, but little Sweet Williams, isn't that cool? I would like this in a mini flower also. And but this I bet if we stack these, we'd make cool carnations. Yes, a poppy die would be very cool. Although I have seen, there's some ideas to make poppies from their stuff. So here's the one I did with the misting. And the flowers and the, you can see the sparkle and little bitty baby flowers. Aren't they so cute? And then here's this little guy. And I've got those sitting here waiting. So did y'all decide, do we want to do a flower like this? Or do we want to do like a sunflower or daisy? Do a daisy and use the little that's what we need to do. We need to do a daisy and use the flower soft. Does everybody like that idea? We got yays or nays? Nays or yays? She says as she pulls out daisy petals. Let's see, this could be a sun. You know, you could take this and actually I think I'm going to use the small one for the center of the daisy, and I'll show you what I've seen people do. I've seen people take these and, well, actually what they do is they do this. And see how that makes the little ruffle edge? That could be the base of a flower. That could hold my flower soft. Wouldn't that be cool? Well, good night, Michael. I'm glad you came by to see me. Michael's my new friend from gym. I think Michael has a store, too. I'm not sure. Okay. Okay, since I didn't get a yay or a nay, I'm going to finish with the daisy. Okay? And because I have over mist on the back, these became the back. Okay? Well, I'm glad you came by. Welcome. I hope to see you again. Make sure you check out the YouTube because that's where I upload all my stuff and get it, you know, where you can see it on your own time. So I like how easy it is to make the petals curl like this. This is so much fun. And the tool truly makes this die just that much cooler. You know what I mean? It's got the ability to make this be that. Way cool. Way cool. And then we'll stick, this got colored, so we'll have to do this to it again. But this will stick in the middle of our daisy. So we need to get some more daisy petals going here. So and I push them pretty hard to get it to do that. But see, if you played with this, you could make these go up and be like, you know, mums and stuff. But they have a die for mums that has more petals than this one does. So it would really be more appropriate. But if you didn't have the ability to have every die made to man, you could definitely get a couple and have some accomplished little daisies. These look like the little daisies on the side of the road. I love these. So, okay, here we go. You see how it's becoming a daisy. I think I want to do that. I think I want to do that. I've got it halfway done. I think I want to do that. Okay. So I'm just using a little bit. And the reason I'm using this is because it's in this little tube to make it precision pointing for my glue. Use your favorite wet glue that dries really fast when building flowers is my my recommendation. There's no rhyme or reason. I would also be very happy with just some white Tombow. White Tombow is probably my favorite fast wet drying glue. Okay, I've put a little puddle in there of glue. And now, are you ready? Are you ready? I'm going to get my flower soft, my fake flower soft. I'm going to put in here. And I'm going to grab this so that I can, grab this so I can poke at it. There we go. How cool is that? I got to get me a little micro grater. That's what I think Amanda called it earlier. It was a micro grater. And I think Flower Soft uses a white glue, so I might switch over to my art glitter glue. Yeah, I'm going to switch over to my art glitter glue. Hang on. Oh, here we go. So here we go. Got some art glitter glue. Make sure it's going to come out. Yes, great. Okay, I'm going to use this to get it going. I don't know why Styrofoam wants this, but it does. It said to me, we need this. So I said, okay. Alrighty, so here we go. Putting our fake Flower Soft into our handmade flower. I'm loving this, guys. You could have Flower Soft in every color of marker or dye ink that you own. Or not dye ink, but alcohol ink that you own. If that is not the coolest tip you saw here tonight, besides how cool these dyes are, I don't know what I'm going to tell you. I mean, wow. This is too much fun. Obviously, a micro grater would make it finer than what I've got it. And I'm messing with it. I need to learn to set it down and leave it. That's what I need to learn how to do. Here we go. Stay. 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 It's got to dry. It still has white in it, but it's got my homemade Flower Soft in it. Definitely going to find me a micro grater this weekend because I've got 12 styrofoam balls to grate up, people. Booyah. Okay. That is the coolest little flower ever. I love my my daisy die. I hadn't played with the daisy die, but now I have, and I love it. So what do you know, guys? Any questions, thoughts, comments? Need to make another flower. I need to make another flower. Let's make another flower. Let's make another daisy. And ooh, here's a bigger daisy we can make. There we go. Here's the bigger daisy. And he could have a little daisy petal going in it. That'll be fun. And see, Mom has fringe. I say let's make some more flowers next week. She's going to bring me one of the fringe dies. Now, here's the other thing. With this tool, let's say you have the tattered flowers die. Okay, that's a popular die of Mr. Holtz. With these tools, you could do all kinds of really cool stuff. You know? And then I need another one of those little roundy flower things. Or, ooh, let's do something with this. These will be fun. Let's stick one of these in the middle. I'm just rolling my tip of my small part of my ball where the circles are on this. And I'm going to flip this over and do this. Haha, how fun is that? Where's my baby one? Okay, so we got this one. I'm just grabbing what I got right here. And I'm going to stick this one in it. Now, the company that made that Sizzix die I showed you that I hadn't played with yet makes a little, like egg cartons, only they're plastic to build your flowers in. So if you're doing stuff like this, you're not sticking it to something. I'll make sure I get that out. Not only to show you, but also to use next week. Because I didn't get that out to use this week. And maybe I'll play with that between now and then. And show you how cool that little flower is going to be. So I think it's going to be cool. You should have seen me at convention. I was walking around just looking for flower dies. I mean, I love this process of making little flowers. And that's what I did for a lot of convention, was just walk around and try to find some flower dies. And then when I found the sunflower die, oh my goodness, what a cool find. Okay. I didn't color that in. I should have colored it something. But look at that. Is that not too precious? I've got glue there. Let me see. Let's see if I can find a light pink, maybe. No, that needs to be yellow. That needs to be, yellow, like pollen yellow. Done it. There we go. Okay. That's like a light pollen yellow. There we go. Light pollen yellow. Ta-da. And where I have some smooch in there, I'm add a little more glue. And I'm going to thought I had a pair of tweezers in that can. I don't. I do right here. Here's a pair of tweezers. Use my tweezers to use my fake stuff here. There we go. Grab some fake Flower Soft and scooch that down in there. There we go. Haha! Isn't that a cute little flower? Look at that. Love. Love, love. So what do you think? We made some fun flowers today. Make a few more next Saturday or next Friday. Same bat channel, same bat time. And I'm going to play with these some more. This is the red one that I, oh, my one that I put the yellow center in went to. It went for a walk. I don't know where the yellow center one went. Oh, here it is. He's upside down. So see, here are these. Aren't those fun? And then this one is just too precious with the little bitty, 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 bitty flowers. So what do you think, guys? You like? I like. I'm excited. There's so many flowers to make. I love how this looks curled underneath it. I think that will look gorgeous on some of the roses. So let's do some more flowers. We'll do the sunflower and some roses and stuff next week, and I will show you some more flowers that you can make just with these dies, so that they're even more pizzazzy. You know how more pizzazzy is. So is everybody good with that? Oh, we've been talking and I've been missing. Here, hang on. Very cool. I'm not sure what Amanda's telling me to get one with. Oh, a micro grater without with a handle. Okay. So, fun stuff. Love them. So, that's my new love. It's my new flower dies. I hope you love them too. So, if anybody has any questions, I'll hang out here for a few minutes. Let me stop the recording and then I'll come back and hang out if you have any questions about what I was working with and that kind of thing. So, because I know we seem to be lagging just a little bit. Okay, guys? So I'm going to stop the show and I will come back and answer any other questions. And if there's something that I think you guys might want, I'll put it with the recording when I upload it to YouTube. Okay? So all of these dies that we actually used, I mean, we die cut quite a few flowers before the show, but the ones that we actually used to make these flowers were all Cheery Lynn Dies. This was a daisy strip die. This was the Sweet Williams die. And then these little flowers and like the stamens and the leaves and stuff, for those were all on that embellishments die. And Amanda put some links up to it, and I will put that also in our YouTube upload for you guys. Okay, I'll upload it to YouTube tomorrow. Tonight I'll leave it on Ustream. If you don't have any questions, or if you have questions, just hang out and I'll answer some more. And I appreciate y'all for coming. Gonna stream a little bit and make some more flowers next week, kind of a bonus stream, because I had a lot of fun doing this and I want to do some more. And y'all take care. Have a great night, and go make a bunch of Flower Soft now that you have a cheap alternative to Flower Soft. So have a good time. Have a good weekend. Everybody, try to stay cool if you're in the hot states. I will talk to you later. Thank you for coming. Good night.